If your piano playing feels stiff, heavy, tight, you don't have accuracy even after you've practiced, you may have pain in your elbow, your hands, anywhere, then maybe the problem is not the fingers. Quite possibly the problem is right here. In this series, I'm going to show you how to develop a floating arm and a loose, beautiful wrist that will produce the sound, the accuracy, and relieve the tension of playing. In this demonstration, I want to show you. First, I'm going to play it with a very locked wrist, very tight, everything pulled into the body. The sound will be pinched, and I'll be able to really feel it when I'm done with this. So here is the locked wrist, the tight wrist, the wrist that doesn't move. And yeah, I could already feel it in my arm. Now, here is a free arm. So, how do we get that free arm? What do we need to do to let go? Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to realize that we're lifting our arm not from here, not from right here, but we're using the big muscles. The big muscles in our shoulders, they have much better memory, they're stronger, they last longer, and they are what lift your arm. So just take your arm and just feel like you're lifting it from your shoulder, up and down from your shoulder. Now, in doing that, if I still keep my wrist straight, I'm still keeping tension held up in my arm. So what we want to do is we want to roll and down. So we lift from our shoulder, we roll up, we roll down, we roll up, we roll down. And when you roll down, the trick is not to stop, but to roll on down. And this may be something, especially if you've played locked up, this may be something that feels weird, that you have trouble with. Couple things you can do is you can bring your fingers just for a little tiny bit out to the edge of the keys and roll all the way down, over exaggerating the movements so that your wrist can feel that way. Some people also find it helpful to put a ball, like a squishy ball, in their hands, and then they literally roll over the ball and roll up. We don't want to. A couple of no-nos are no flats, no flat fingers, and no waving to the piano. Waving, that doesn't do you any good, and this motion up here isn't something that helps you play. It isn't necessary, it isn't beneficial at all. So as we're up here, the first thing that touches those keys are the tips of your third finger and down into your others, and you roll down and you roll up. So we do that until your hand and your wrist in both hands feels like they've got the idea. The elbow is supporting the pinky. It's not tucked in, it's out, kind of the distance of if you had a half blown up balloon stuck between your arm and your body, but also we're not rolling flat. We're not coming down and doing this. We're supporting our pinky with our elbow, so when we roll down, our pinky becomes a very strong, active finger. After you've done that, the next step is you can just add that third finger, that long finger, and you just literally fall into the key and roll over a pretend ball. Now you can just play the note, or you can step up and give yourself an octave. Go from C to C, and that'll give you your exercise time. And just feel all the way that you're loose and you're floating and you're moving out with your arm supporting your pinky. We don't want to reach like this. We don't want to turn. We don't want to bend the wrist. We keep the wrist straight, but we roll up. And again, this type of rolling, this type of coming up is not letting go. This is not working. And if you want a demonstration on how this works, if you take this hand, and now we're going to punch this hand, all right? So when you punch this hand, if you keep pushing and you keep moving into the hand, you can feel that all the way back into your arm and up into your neck if you push hard enough. If, on the other hand, you hit just as hard, but you let go. Just as hard, but let go. And that's what you're doing here. You're rolling down, but we're letting go. Up, rolling down and letting go. This is staying right there and locking up. The next step is you can either do 1 and 5, or you can do the whole chord. And you roll up. The elbow should always stay behind the pinky. Again, we're never turning our wrist one way or the other. We're keeping it straight. Up and down, up and down. Okay? So this week, just try that. Just practice that way. Just practice doing these exercises. And so that way we've learned the floating arm this week. We've learned the soft wrist and how together it lets everything relax. It gives an escape valve for all the tension that you have when you build up. And they will create freedom. They will create more control. So in the next video, we're going to explore a little bit farther what to do with this floating arm, and how also in floating and releasing will also increase speed and accuracy in finger work. So subscribe so you don't miss the next step in building artistry at the piano through learning how to use your floating, soft, flexible wrist. Thank you.